Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Computer issues, had to restart. The cameras are acting up. I don't have the camera that points at me working right now. OBS issues, everything. So I'm here. We're gonna do the um, start with pack 9 and then 10, and who knows how many packs I'm going to do tonight. Probably it'll be at least these two, if not two more from the second month. So first thing I got to do, because like I said, I'm not quite ready for prime time. Let me change the blade just in case I need it. Actually, blades aren't handy. Let me just change knives. And let's get started. By the way, welcome to the stream. This is my 6th stream, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So you can see here that this issue we're going to be working on the cranium area. Comes with the right head A and right head B parts, and 3 PM 4mm screws. So, first cut the screws out of the package. There are 3 screws in the package. Parts go together just like this. This one will go like that. This other one goes in here on the back. Let's see. Yeah. 2 screw holes line up with the lugs. Looks like that from the front side. So I was using this screwdriver for other things this week, and so I need to change back to my normal tip. So one screw goes in there like that. Screw will go in like that. By the way, if you're curious, the centerpiece here is plastic. The outer shell, that's metal, and it looks like that when done with the 2 screws. And that's it for stage 9. Those were PM 4mm. Still keeping all the screws in the screw box. Not sure why. Because they give additional screws with every issue. Don't need them. They're probably going to just end up being weights in a model somewhere. And then the stage 10 is going to be the inner eye sockets and the right middle finger. I'm going to put the middle finger together tonight using the replacement sleeves that they put in. But I've also ordered a replacement for these. I think it looks a whole lot better. It comes from Model Mods. And what it is instead of having these pins on both sides and this in the middle, it's got a little brass collar that goes in there. And then that brass collar will have hex head screws that go in and hold the fingers together. I think it looks a lot better than just the plain metal on the outside. So when I get those in, I will demonstrate at least one finger. Might just do every finger on a live stream. fingers, we got that, the fingertip, one longer, 3 shorter pins, so that means 1 longer sleeve and 3 shorter sleeves. I'm actually ahead of myself because these are the second part of this pack, but I'm just getting everything together right now for later on, because it's only going to be about, I'm guessing, about 5 to 10 minutes before I'm actually on that part of the stage. And then, of course, the pins for the other side. I will still probably be putting just a slight drop of glue into these so that they'll hold until I get the new parts from Model Mods. That way the fingers stay together, they look good, and with it just being a little drop of glue, it shouldn't cause any problems for me to be able to pull them back out. So the eye sockets right here will go into the back of this. The eye sockets, by the way, are plastic, and the face is still metal. So the larger ridge, it looks like goes to the bottom. So this should be, no, it's going to go to the top. So this will go in here. Should. There's a, and interesting, there are no screws on the eye holes. No, there's just pins. Okay, I don't know if you can see right there and there, there's a pin, same with here and here, that will go into these lugs on here. I thought they would actually screw in. There's lug here with holes. So let me dry fit it first to make sure it's going to go on. Wonder if I've got this backwards. No, definitely not. So let me try this again. Just to let everybody know, I thought several times over the weekend of doing another live stream with the Ecto-1, but I was a little bit under the weather. Had a cold from hell. I was in bed most of Sunday. Okay, that's how they go on. You need to do a little bit of pull to stretch them. Not really stretch, but to flex them a little bit, and then they'll pop right in there. So let me get these turned around. Let me make sure the left one is going to fit as well as the right one. But yeah, I was under the weather a little bit, and just almost didn't go to work on, which that should tell you how bad I was feeling. I almost didn't go to work, which is right over there, on Monday. A lot better today. Hopefully I'll be 100% by tomorrow. So let me get a bottle, one of the things of cheap glue. And my spreading stick, which that's one thing I like about using something like this, is you can usually peel the glue right back off and continue to use it. That's got most of it. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do it. I've had suggested by you guys, not milk carton, but you guys suggested milk carton. I'm going to just use the packaging that comes with it because it's just going in the trash when I'm done. Same here, Spencer. Listening while you're cleaning, you're not missing much because not a whole lot of action is going on. But hopefully I will be better in time for Thursday, although we have changed our plans. My son's girlfriend was sick over the weekend as well, and they both work out and about in the world, and she works in the restaurant industry and is exposed to people in her work who have had, they've been at work and then tested positive for COVID. Fortunately, neither her or my son have come down with it, but we're not taking any risks. So it's going to be, for the first time in our lifetimes, just me and my wife. Not going to be too bad. We're going to enjoy ourselves. It's kind of nice to have some us time finally. And we will probably give them leftovers from the turkey my wife bought. She also had a spiral ham, but we're leaving that frozen to avoid having too many leftovers. As it is, we're going to have leftovers for a good long time next week because just being two of us. But we also only get small turkeys. I don't think we've ever had a 20-pound turkey. Oh, come on, you went in there so easily when I test fit you. There's the one pin. There we go. There's the other pin. I might go back. Probably not. I don't think I should need to. Might go back and do something under the eye, underneath or above the eyelids. But now that the eye sockets are in there, he looks like that. Now you can see where it was just open here before. You've now got actual eye ridges, and the eyes will sit inside there. Not too bad looking, I think. So let me set him off to the side. And now it's time to do a finger. There's 10 fingers, and there's going to be 10 toes, so there's going to be a lot of fingers that you guys are going to see. That's cool, Spencer. Don't take any chances. Glad your brother did not come down with it. A bit of glue around there. And it's very subtle. But the finger actually, at least to my eyes, has a slight slant. I think that's it. That's the right way. I think it slants a little bit down this way. So, okay, this one gets, which one's the one? T12. Okay, this one gets one of the short ones, comes in from the fingers, or from the fingertip side. And see, here's the thing: is I've watched videos of somebody putting that aftermarket kit for the fingers. This takes some pretty serious force to get that all the way down. And when it's done, when you get it on and it's permanent, quote unquote, which, because it'll still wear and it may still come loose, but once it's permanent, this one's not too bad, but I've had other ones where the finger itself, instead of being straight, it's at an angle, and it's holding pretty well this way, but that that rubber, silicone, plastic, whatever it is, that little donut is going to wear out. Let me see, just for giggles, is that going to stay in? Nope, definitely not. So like I said, just the barest touch of glue in there, because these are coming out. Not sure how soon they're coming out, because I ordered the replacement fingers 6 days ago, and they haven't even shipped yet. I just realized something. I keep looking up at the camera that's up on top of the monitor here. I moved it so that chat's in front of me. It's up there. It's not even working tonight. I didn't have time to mess with it to get it fixed. So I guess I'll just keep looking down at this stuff, because you guys, or I'm not even sure how many people are here, you guys can't even see whether what I'm doing, looking up or looking down. Okay, so this one, next one, which is also a short one, comes in from the next knuckle side. Pushes down. Man, that's hard. Good concept for like a universal joint, but man, on a model, not a really good idea. Let's see if I can push it down with the knife and not stab myself. I just thought of something. Let's man, even that camera's out of focus. Yeah, we're going to stick with that one. I was going to go with the Droid Cam, but it's a little bit out of focus. Okay, that's in. Again, this is really being difficult tonight. I don't want to, because I don't want to scar it. But let's tie pliers. Okay, that should be good. And this is probably going to just fall out again. Yep. Again, with a little bit of glue in there. I may come to regret that glue, but we'll see. And you guys will be able to have an opportunity to see it, you know, at the same time I'm doing it, because I'm going to live stream it. Okay, that's that one. This next one. Okay, the longer one comes to hold on the finger. So this one will come again from this side, from this knuckle side of the finger. That one went in a lot easier. The middle knuckle has two of the lugs attaching to it, through it. I'm not even going to try the pin this time. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue in here. First, I'll tell you right now, first time I did this, it made me nervous putting glue that close to a moving part. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but that other one, that's how hard it was to push this one in, is there is still a gap right here. Everything's glued together, but there's a gap there. So that one's in. And now, the last one. The sleeve and the lug goes through the plastic part, through the wrist. Finger comes up from below. And just a spot of glue in there. Pin is so small, it's easier, I think. We'll find out in a second. It should be easier to get it in there using tweezers. It still moves. Yay, all the joints are still good. And so that's the second finger. Now looks like a claw. Set this off to the side. Actually, let me go ahead and get rid of this. I went through this week, and the next 30 issues are all in a box, lined up to where I can get to. It's just knife falling over. Get to them really quickly and easily, along with the books that go along with them. So here's the book for pack 2. Let me make sure I grab the right one. This is where it's going to start to get a little bit interesting. Neck joints. Interesting, I just got a receipt for an order that I don't think I made an order. Ah! I am wrong. I did make an order. The pack number 5 was just charged to my credit card. So the build will continue. So here, like I said, you've got the neck here, and I think, well, that's the vertebrae, and I think that's actually the neck joint itself. There are a total of 7 screws and 2 nuts. So this may be a little bit iffy. I did not look at these books at all. First, find the section, put it on one side. You'll need So this piece here for the spine goes in the box. Does not get put into the model until stage 13. So I'll put it over here. And instead we're going to be working with these two parts right here. You need two PB times 6, the 6mm ones, which are the shorter ones, I believe. And that's one thing they do with Agora, or Hatchet. I don't know, Hatchet, the original producer of this model. I don't know how Agora will do it with their other models, but all the screws are in a single package like that. Can be a little bit frustrating. I like when they come in their own blister packs so that you can look at them and you know exactly which screws they are. So 11/6. These are 10mm, these are 6. These are PBs. 6mm spare will go in there. So I need 3 of them. I'll put the spare away right now. That way I don't have to worry about it. Raise sockets. Okay, the book explains that these pins actually fit down inside of these lugs. And then the screw holes are on this side. That comes dangerously close to being too deep for my screwdriver. Luckily, I have a spare. So, and here with the third one. Okay, and that's the neck joint. It says to put it away until it's needed in a later stage. So at this point, we're getting out the lower jaw, and I actually put this part in this box and inadvertently put this box somewhere else. It wasn't until I was cleaning up that I realized that, oh, it's not this part, never mind. But I had this put away, and this is just the old sprue from the teeth. I almost lost a part because I put the box far away from the rest of the kit. Okay, so here we're taking this thing that was built, I believe, in it says step 7, so built it in step 7. There are a couple of pins on each side, matching holes in the jaw. And the shorter part, the shorter leg goes on the Terminator's left-hand side, my right-hand side as I'm looking at him. Pop those pins in there. And in there, and that should be good. And this arm is what's going to make his jaw move up and down. Now take the lower jaw. Oh, this lower jaw. Screw hole on either side of the jaw here. One here, one here. And that slots in. And slots in here, inside of this black part. There's a gap here so that you can actually slide this in here. But slides in. Supposed to slide in. There we go. There's one. There's the other. Fits in there like that. Jaw is now free to move on that pivot. So once they're in there, you take these bushings. It's kind of funny because it calls them bushes. Don't look like any bushes I've ever seen. Bushing slides in there like that. And the screw goes through the bushing and actually engages on the jaw. You do the other one before I tighten either of them up. Again, I don't know if you can see it. Here's the bushing. I just pushed it down inside. Screw goes through the bushing. I'm sure that bushing is there so that no matter how tight you put these screws, the jaw can still move. Till that's tight. Let me tighten back the other side. That's a hair too tight. Because I've seen it, the jaw should, when it's not being held up by the motor, should just fall loosely. Maybe not completely loosely, but you can now articulate the jaw. And this was a 10mm. I do not believe I have a 10mm yet. Not yet. So I'll just put it in the pocket and label it later. It has motors, it has lights, it has sound. It's all in all, these kits, they're expensive, but you get pretty good value for what you're paying. It's just that, like with the fingers and the teeth, so they're set up to where other people make a little bit of money off of them because people want to have they want to have it looking completely right. There's also eye sockets that you can buy, and I'm not going to be buying the eye sockets. I'm not sure if they're motors or servos. I think in the magazines they're called motors. I think, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're motors because servos would move to a specific spot and stop based on computer control, and these motors just move up and down. Okay, so stage 12, assembling the right forearm. And we have tendons. So let me pull, let's see what I can get out of the way here. I believe I need that. Maybe not. So it says take the forearms, take forearm C and the forearm muscle springs. And this can be a little bit interesting. I've watched somebody do it on online, and it can get a little bit funky because these springs are under tension. So I think they're all the same length. And I have also seen where if you are not nice to these springs, they'll get a kink in them, which it's really, the one that I saw that had a kink in it, it was really small, it was out of the way, you couldn't really see it, but my eye, I don't know why, my eye zoomed in on it as soon as I saw it. So I'm going to try not to damage mine at all. Yeah, they're all the same length. This is the, let's see what it's, forearm muscles. They're actually calling this the forearm, but the muscles will each lay in here like that. I don't know if you can see that. There's grooves in here for the muscles to lay in. And once you put the muscle in, once you lay it in like this, then you're supposed to take super glue and glue it down so that it will not move. For this, I'm not going to use the cheap glue. I'm going to use the Loctite because I don't want this coming apart ever. It would really suck having to go in there to try and fix these springs. So, healthy amount of glue there. See if I can. No, I'm just going to end up gluing myself if I keep doing that. Okay. Remove the glue, the excess glue there. Very gently. I think instead of putting the glue on top of the spring, I'm going to put glue into the groove. Push it down in there. Let me see if I can get this other camera to focus because that's really not focusing at all. Well, you know, I remember seeing something. No, I didn't look at it enough. I know I can zoom the cameras if I need to. I'll have to work that out for the next stream. So put glue in the next trench. I also, if I need it, have Instaset to get the glue to set instantly. The third one. Slide this third one in there. So is anybody, I think there's only 2 of you out there right now. Are either of you doing anything for Thanksgiving or just staying at home? I think Spencer said, let's see. No, you didn't say. So is it, are you doing anything for Thanksgiving or staying home? Here's the third one. Fourth one. Have to hold that one down. It's kind of popping up a little bit. We are too. We'll be with just the 2 of us and the full turkey and the ham still being, staying and being frozen. We're going to be eating turkey for at least a week, maybe 2, which is fine. Okay. So that is the tendons. And they kind of flop like real tendons do when they're not inside the body. Once those are in, this is, okay, that's forearm C, this is forearm B. That's why it's called forearm. It will lock in. The tendons go down the arm. So it will go in here just like this. And I haven't opened the screws yet. Which I think there's only, there's 4 screws, 2 really tiny ones, and 2 pretty big ones, biggest ones I've seen in this kit so far. I want to make sure that, yeah, the really tiny ones are what holds the forearm together. Let me see, do I have a box for this small one? KB 2. Do not yet. So it'll go in a box by itself. And this is why you end up with many little pockets of screws. So put that back on there. One place, okay, so this little countersunk screw will go in here. Other than the springs, these parts are both plastic. That is now the tendons in place. And then there's one last part here. Let's see. So there's a groove here, matches up with the groove on here. So this will go on here like that. There's a pin here, small lug there. Go on here like this. Matching up those two grooves. And one of these big screws will go through the hole. It's going to be a lot easier to put the screw through the hole. There. Put the screw through the hole and then line it up. Start screwing it down because it's, you know, it's 1/4 inch apart. It will pull itself together pretty quickly and easily. Except for when you get to that point where it starts spinning with the screw. And this one. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And that literally is what these are supposed to represent, except for in the movie itself, instead of being these springs, they were actual rods, I think. What grossed me out a little bit was when, not in the first one, I think it was either the second or third one, where he just gloved himself, where he cut around his arm and just peeled the skin off. So, I guess I didn't need this. But since it's moving right along, I'm going to go ahead and do stage 13. I'm guessing I'm going to need some glue, so I'm going to keep that. Stage 13, right finger component. Not a whole right finger, just a couple pieces of the right finger, of one of the right fingers. As a matter of fact, I'm guessing, that's interesting. Unless I opened the wrong part. No. Oh. Yep, there they are. I'm sitting here wondering where these parts are. I'm like, where's the rest of the right finger? Okay, so for here we need this. Both sides of the vertebrae. And yeah. And the neck part from stage 11. So these parts will go together like that. That's pretty obvious. Here I go again, trying to read and looking at the pictures more. That will fit down in there. But which direction? Okay, that's kind of funny. Because not really looking at it, just looking at the pictures, I actually put it in there correctly because this curve matches this curve, the indentations and the back. That's called doing too many models, I think. 2 PB 6 millimeters. These are all the same size, and I think I have those already. PB 6 millimeter. You'll find when I do the DeLorean, or not the DeLorean, I'm done with the DeLorean. When I do the Ecto 1, I will actually pull the screws out of the bag, put them in their container, and I'll pull them out of the container instead. So, okay. So you take one screw. This time I had to read it. I'll put one screw in here. To lock the vertebra joint here in place. This side still needs to be open, however, because this little ball joint thing underneath the base of the skull, just looking, I see a pin. Oh no, that's not a pin, that's a screw hole. It needs to line up. There's a socket here, pin with a socket in the middle of, in the end of it here, and another one right here. These pins on the bottom of the neck here go in there and get held in by screws. I just want to make sure that I don't do what I'm about to do, which is put his neck on backwards. The vertebra, the ends of the vertebrae that poke out, they're in the front right now. So let me fix that. I'll go in there like that. Take a screw. Move it back over to the center where your audience can see. I'm talking to myself, don't worry. Unless I start answering myself. And then if I get in an argument with myself and lose, it's time to leave. Just tighten that down to hold that in place. Do the same thing on the other side. Make sure all the pins are lining up. And actually, Eric did say last week that modelers who YouTube talk to themselves all the time. Tighten that up. That's funny because what I just did on both sides is about a page and a half of written instructions. Make sure these are tight because I'm about to block them away forever. Now these are acting like they're a little bit too loose. That one's good. Okay. So there we have the neck vertebra. He's able to, there's a little bit of play back and forth here. Nothing left and right. Play all the way around with the spine, where the spine goes into the base of the skull. And the jaw, I'm sure it will never, it's not going to open that far, but the jaw's got some pretty serious articulation right now. Last part for this. I hate having to clip chrome because you always end up with a dark spot on it. The last part for this is going to be putting the covers over the screw holes. And let me see. Does not say anything about glue, so I'm going to not glue it and see what happens. Do this on the other one. I'm sure you know sprue cutters. I'm sure you have a set of them. And it says to file it down if need be. It doesn't need filed down, because if I file it down, I'm going to end up with really big ugly spots. This one had a small burr on it, as does this one. Take it and it's just, there's 2 pins here, 2 lugs on the back here. Pins go in the lugs, covering up the screw holes and looking really close to what the other 2 on the that side look like. Now do the same thing on the other side. Set that plastic aside because I keep most of my plastic these days, especially when it's that small. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, if I ever am. Maybe I'll build a board cube someday. A little bit of a burr on both of these. Same with these. I'd prefer to do this with the X-Acto because I have a little bit more control with the X-Acto than I would with a sanding stick. A sanding stick would take out the entire side, whereas with the X-Acto I can take just the little burr off. Then that goes on there. And that goes on there. And now both sides are finished. And the start of one more finger. One thing about these kits is, especially, I love the fact that they come in the hard plastic like this, but it fills up a trash can really fast. So there's no guesswork in this one since there's only 1 pin. It's going to be, this pin goes with this finger. Is that blob of glue good? Still got some residual stickiness to it. It hasn't solidified yet. Put that finger on there. This pin is coming in from the fingertip side. And these knuckles, there is literally no difference on which side you use. So you just, whichever one, you just, the main thing is making sure that you've got a short one. With this, only got the short one. But if you've got a full finger, make sure you have the short one and the long one in the right spots. That on there. Little bitty dab of glue in the hole. And pin. And that is a part of a finger. I did not know that. Actually, you're right though. It's not hazing with the glue. So I may have to keep some of these because it helps a lot, you know, that'll help a lot whenever I'm trying to do windows where there weren't originally windows. I just stuck my thumb in the glue. So, let me double check. Yep. Stage 14. Wow, was thinking stage 9 through 12. We're ending up 9 through 14. That's okay though. We'll be not finishing, we're going to be adding to the lower arm and assembling the fourth right finger. In other words, the other two pieces for this finger. So we need this and 14-2, that would be the longer one. Okay, these two are 14-2. Put that up there. Those pins. Oh, good. The screws are all the same size. That's going to be helpful. That was close. As I was dragging the X-Acto across, I felt it hit my fingernail, and I was like, move the finger. Of course, I'm a lot quicker with that, with moving out of the way of the X-Acto than I am out of the way of a kitchen knife, because I've had a few pretty good cuts from cutting stuff while I'm helping my wife cook. So we need one of these, and one of these. Take the sleeve. Okay, so the sleeve goes in here like that. And here's, here, let me, oh, you can see it. That sleeve will go in here. First one goes in clockwise, one clockwise from the screw. It plugs into here. And gets held in by one of these long screws. It's another one of them screws that times that the screw sticks all way through at the time you're screwing it in, but lines up once you get it there. And you can feel it when it hits bottom. It says to do the same thing for the other side, so same thing as before. Over here, that'll drop in there. I'll get it started that way. And that's 2 wrist bones, I guess, or forearm bones. And they're like that. Forearm should not look like that. And do the same thing. Spread away. Do the same thing with the third section. Sleeve, screw, and thread it in here. And it's falling apart. Down. And now you've got 4 bones in the forearm. But I think the forearm only has 2 bones. All right. And the rest of the third finger. Okay, this long one's going to go to the wrist again. These 2 shorter ones are going to go to the main parts of the finger. And then the pins. So just to make sure. Yep. So they've got the, let's see why, never noticed that before. There's a little bit of a countersink on each of these, on this hole here, not this hole here. That's why the lugs come from the outside of that part. And again, really, really tight, which should have been a good fix, but having then to glue the little pin on the other side, I think, is what loses its ability to stay forever. Where did I put them? There they are. Stay. pin just doesn't want to go all the way in. Okay. So take this one and plug it in to that side of the joint. And that stuff is lost, is all dried out, so. Dab of glue in there. This part's got to be getting boring to you guys, because this is, what is this? This is the 4th finger. So this is 4 times you've seen this exact same procedure. Do the same over here. Little dab of glue in there. Pop the pin in. Now see this, you can't see it, but this joint here is looser than this joint. Whoa, that one just came really loose. The glue must not have caught yet. But it's a little bit looser than I like it. And that's why I bought the aftermarket nuts and screws to go in there. Plus, instead of having these plain what could be rivets, it actually will have hex head bolts in there, is what they'll look like. I think the detail of the hex head on top of it is worth the effort that it's going to take. Plus, including shipping, there's only 19 pounds. Put this one on here. That looks really, really painful. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to bend your finger the wrong way. And that one in there like that. I do have to say, I might start doing what I've seen somebody doing online. Instead of using these, he uses a pin he uses a pin in a pin vise. Just the point of the pin is clipped off, and so you know, if you get the buildup like I've got on the point of this, you can just scrape it off really easy. So move this out of the way. This, because I'm going to pull out where the build is at this point. And I love to put the face on the front of the head, because the face will actually just slot in here like it is now. It will not be attached, it just slides on. I have a cross-eyed Terminator. So he's actually coming together pretty well. Got the face, part of the cranium, good part of the hand. I want to say these tendons will actually attach. I want to say it's like that. The tendons will attach to the ends of the hands here. I think this is shoulder piece. But that's with, this is 1 pack short of a month and a half. Thanks, Spence. I think so too. I'm loving this build. I really do. I love this build. I love the way it looks. I love the fact that it's metal. I just don't love those teeth. Get it to focus on those teeth. Come on, focus. There. You can just about see that he's got 3 teeth in the front. And I have a aftermarket part to fix that. So with that, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to see if I can actually make my OBS work right and get all my cameras back up. And tomorrow, I have it on good authority. I will be out of work early, so I might do some live stream to get the Ecto 1 caught up. I've got a month worth of packs over there that have been sitting there for almost a month. I'm almost due for another shipment. If I get charged for the next shipment before I get to it, I'll just wait for that shipment to come in. And then we'll do 8 packs on the Ecto 1. Many other things I've got going. I'm going to throw together throw together is not a good way to put it. I'm going to put together a bat pod, both the bat pod with the with Catwoman and with Batman, to get into the end of the HLI Batman group build. And got my Voyager to work on, got the Black Pearl to put back together. And if my room camera was actually working, you would be able to see, because earlier when it was working, I could see that you could see the 1/200 scale Titanic up over my left-hand shoulder. They've come out with a light and sound, aftermarket light and sound kit for it. I'm going to wait until I can afford that, but it looks like right around 1 January, the Titanic is going on the workbench. Not sure how I'm going to fit it in, because the Titanic will not fit here. It's going to have to go on the table behind me, and so I'll have to use the camera phone a lot more. But with that, I'm going to call it a night. I'm glad you stopped by. I mean, I'll be doing this whether anybody stops by or not. You can see that I enjoy it. It gives me, it lets me relax, and lets me talk to people that I otherwise don't have any way to talk to other than through Discord and HLI. So have a great evening, and I will catch you later.